Okay, get this. What if I told you that someone walked an hour to school on unpaved roads, became a mother at 15, and then built a successful career in a whole new country?
That sounds like they've had quite a journey.
Yeah, and all that before even going back to school.
Wow. Okay, you've got my attention.
Good. Today, we are pedantically peering into the life of Maria Benitez Blanco. She's a student at Kennesaw State University, and actually, they've featured her as one of their best and brightest.
So, where are we getting all this information from?
We've got this Kennesaw State News article that really lays out her incredible journey.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, so Maria's story starts in rural Colombia, youngest of 8 children raised by a single mother.
8 children. Wow.
Yeah, her family really struggled, and education, well, it wasn't exactly a priority for them.
I can imagine. Large family, single parent, tough to make ends meet.
Exactly. Actually, her mom had to leave school in the 5th grade, and her dad never learned to read or write.
So with that background, it's even more impressive that she's where she is today.
It really is. But one of the most remarkable parts, she became a mom at just 15.
15. That's incredibly young.
It is. But instead of, that experience derailing her life, it became a turning point for her.
In what way?
It really fueled this desire in her to have a better life, especially for her daughter.
Makes sense. You want the best for your child.
Exactly. And here's where the story takes a really fascinating turn. At 20 years old, Maria decides to move to the United States.
To the U.S.? Wow. Does she have family here or friends?
Nope. She didn't know anyone here.
So why the U.S. then? And why Georgia specifically?
Well, believe it or not, she picked Georgia simply because, and I'm quoting here, it wasn't too far up north.
Not too far up north.
I know, right?
I guess she had a vision of the U.S. Maybe not entirely accurate, but hey, it got her here.
It did. But seriously, think about it. A single mom, a new country, a new language. It was a huge leap of faith.
Absolutely. She must have had incredible determination to create a better life for herself and her daughter.
Totally. And let me tell you, she didn't just survive, she thrived. Built not one, but 2 businesses from scratch.
Hold on, 2 businesses.
You heard that right. 2.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What kind of businesses?
First, she started her own cleaning company. Talk about work ethic.
Yeah, that's definitely not easy work.
And then she became a master cosmetologist and even opened up her own salon in Alpharetta.
Wow, that's impressive. From cleaning to running her own salon, she sounds incredibly driven.
She is. But then here's the real twist. She decides to go back to school for construction management.
Construction management. Now that's a big change. What on earth prompted that?
Well, that's a story for another time, my friend.
Okay, so last we left off, Maria had already built 2 successful businesses, cleaning and then a salon. And now she's diving into construction management. That's quite a leap.
It is. And get this, it was her fiancé who really pushed her towards it. He graduated from Kennesaw State and saw Maria's potential. Really encouraged her to go for it, follow her passion.
That's awesome. Having that support system can make such a difference. But think about it. She already had these businesses going strong. I mean, it takes guts to step away from that and try something totally new, right?
Yeah, no kidding. And she almost didn't do it. Actually, Maria was hesitant. Single mom, juggling everything. It's a lot to add onto your plate. Going back to school full-time, that's a serious commitment.
For sure. I can imagine the weight of that decision. It's something so many people face, especially parents. They dream of going back to school, but the practicality of it all, the logistics can be daunting.
Absolutely. But Maria, she's a go-getter. She enrolled at Kennesaw State and get this, in just 2 years. She managed to earn 3 years worth of credits.
Whoa, wait, 3 years worth in 2? That's incredible.
And on top of that, she's maintained nearly perfect grades the whole time.
That's wild. She didn't just overcome those doubts. She crushed it academically. What's her secret?
Right. Talk about determination. And her hard work hasn't gone unnoticed. She was nominated as a 2024 Outstanding Student Scholar and even got to participate in the Board of Regents Academic Recognition Day.
Wow, those are some serious accolades, especially considering how many students there are. To be singled out like that, it really shows her dedication.
Totally. But it gets better. She even got a personal letter from Provost Pulinkala, congratulating her on all her accomplishments.
Oh, wow. That must have been such a special moment for her to be recognized like that by the university. Pretty incredible.
It was. The article mentions she was really touched by it, almost teared up thinking about how far she had come and how all that hard work was actually making a difference.
It's a great reminder that sometimes all it takes is that little bit of recognition, that appreciation, to keep you going, like a validation of all the sacrifices and effort you've put in.
Absolutely. But Maria's story, it's not just about good grades, it's about how her experiences, her whole journey, actually makes her super valuable to the construction industry.
I can see that. What are some of those skills that translate well?
Well, for starters, she's bilingual. Huge advantage in construction where communication is key.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, especially with diverse teams, being able to bridge that language gap is so important.
Exactly. And then there's her leadership experience, right? Running her own businesses, managing people, creating a positive work environment. These are things employers look for in any industry.
For sure. And on top of that, think about the resilience and adaptability she's shown throughout her life. Those are pretty essential in a field like construction.
You got it. It's fast-paced. Things change constantly. You got to be able to think on your feet and handle curveballs. Her entrepreneurial background, I bet it's given her those problem-solving skills and that grit to really thrive in that kind of setting.
Totally. But I imagine it hasn't been all smooth sailing. It's still a male-dominated field.
You're right. She has talked about facing some stereotypes, because of her age and appearance. People underestimating her, thinking she's just young or pretty, not taking her seriously.
That's unfortunate, but sadly, not surprising. Those biases still exist, especially in fields like construction. It takes real strength to push past those perceptions and prove yourself.
And she does. Maria is not letting those stereotypes define her. She's using her competitive spirit and work ethic to show them what she's capable of.
Love that. She's not letting anyone else dictate her path. That's inspiring.
Exactly. But while she's clearly got that inner drive, she also recognizes she's had some amazing support along the way. Her professors, the whole Department of Construction Management, even KSU's career resources. She credits them with helping her get where she is today.
It's so important to acknowledge that, right? Success rarely happens in isolation. Having a network of people who believe in you, offer guidance, it can make a world of difference. Sounds like Kennesaw State really fostered that for her.
They did. But there's one more person in her support system who's also her biggest inspiration, her daughter. The fact that her daughter sees her thriving, achieving her dreams. That's what motivates Maria the most.
That's beautiful. There's something so powerful about wanting to set a positive example for your child. Show them what's possible with hard work and dedication. It's a legacy not just for herself, but for her daughter too.
Totally. And speaking of inspiration, the article also has some interesting insights from Brian Moore. He's the chair of Kennesaw State's Department of Construction Management. He's seen a lot of students come and go,
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear his take. What does he say about Maria?
Well, he basically says that Maria embodies the courage and determination so many students have, but don't always get the chance to show. He sees her story as an inspiration. Proof that setbacks don't have to define you, and that you can achieve incredible things with resilience and hard work.
He's got a point. Maria's journey, it really highlights the fact that sometimes success comes from overcoming challenges and refusing to give up on your dreams, no matter how tough things get.
Exactly. There's so much we can learn from her story. It's about more than just one person's success. It's about the potential we all have within us, and how we can apply those lessons to our own lives. Maria's journey is pretty incredible, right? From rural Colombia to a successful entrepreneur, and now she's the standout construction management student at Kennesaw State. What do you think her story tells us? Not just about her, but what's possible for anyone.
I think it really shows that with resilience and hard work and passion for what you do, you can really change your life.
Yeah, like that saying, where there's a will, there is a way. But what strikes me is how Maria reinvented herself over and over. She had those businesses doing well. She could have easily just stayed in that comfort zone. But she went for this new passion, and it shows you it's never too late to learn and grow, right?
It definitely does. It kind of breaks that idea that we have to stick to one path or let our path define us. Maria's story shows you can adapt and evolve, take on new opportunities no matter your age or background.
And that's so important these days, isn't it? I mean, look at the job market. Things are changing so fast. Being adaptable, that's key.
Absolutely. Maria's willingness to learn new skills, to embrace new challenges, is a great lesson for anyone trying to navigate the working world today. It's complicated out there.
It is. Her facing those stereotypes in construction reminds me that we all have these biases, these assumptions. It's important to challenge those. See people for their potential, not just like what we think they are or what they look like.
Yeah, that's a great point. Maria's story highlights how important diversity and inclusion are, especially in fields like construction. Think about all the talent and innovation we miss out on when we shut people out because of some outdated stereotype.
Absolutely. And it's not just about making space for others, it's about recognizing our own potential, right? What could you achieve? If you had that same tenacity, that same open-mindedness as Maria, what's that dream you've put on hold because you thought it was too late or too hard?
That's the question I hope people listening will take away from this pedantic analysis. Maria's story, it's proof that even when you're starting from scratch, incredible things are possible. It's about perseverance, resilience, and believing in yourself, believing that you can create change.
It's a powerful reminder that no matter what your situation is, it doesn't have to define you. We all have the potential to overcome obstacles and achieve great things, just like Maria.